Go.
Okay, good morning, friends. We are going to be talking about graphs, graphing data, comparing how many more or less, and how to read a graph. Okay, so how many of you know what a graph is? Hannah?
A graph is something like a bar graph.
Yes, that's exactly right. Very good. Okay, so give me some examples of what a graph could be used for. Josie?
Comparing and contrasting.
Amazing, that's perfect. Okay, so that's a great lead into our book today. So we're not gonna read the whole book. So I picked out some of my most favorite pages. So if you wanna look up at the screen, okay, so our book is called The Great Graph Contest by Laureen Leedy. So when you see here, there's a little graph up front. So we're gonna go to these are my two favorite pages of this whole book, and there's so many different examples of graphs. So I'm going to talk us through some of these. So this one over here, it says, are more rocks smooth or rough? And so then it shows you all the smooth rocks and all the rough rocks. Okay, so that's a type of graph. Here we have, did more reptiles or birds hatch? So we have reptiles, our birds. Okay, so that's a different kind of graph. We've already seen two different types. So then over here, these are gong graphs. So do more suits have flowers or bugs or both? So this is a Venn diagram, and so this has our flowers, our bugs, or both. So over here we have all of our flowers, all of our bug suits, and all of them that have both of those things on them. So wow, that is so many different types of graphs. Here's some more, oh my goodness. So what do shoppers plan to do with their new flowers? So over here it has our number of shoppers, and over here what they plan to do with them. So we have 4 that plan to plant it, 3 that want to give it away, and 2 that want to eat it. Okay, so that's a different type. We're going to do one of these today. So here we have different types of cookies. So we have our sugar cookies, our oatmeal, and our chocolate chip. This kind of looks like this one. They're similar, but they're a little bit different. And we're going to do one of those today. So over here we have kind of a spin wheel. What color is most common? And so we have our different colors. This was in color. So some of these are all different colors. So then down here is our last type of graph. So we have our score sheet, and then we have our points over here. Who won the graph contest? Okay? And so it shows that Gong and Beezy tied with our graph contest, okay? So we are going to look at 2 main different types of graphs, okay? So this first one up here is the toy drive. Can we see that? Yeah, okay. So up here we have our toy drive. Okay, and this is a horizontal graph. Will someone tell me, raise your hand and tell me what a horizontal graph is? Stacy.
A horizontal graph is a graph that is the same as a vertical one, but sideways.
That's exactly right. So a horizontal one goes sideways, so it goes right to left or left to right. Whereas a vertical one, which is just like this one down here, that's graphing the number of runs, the vertical ones go up and down. So we're going to do one of these, each of these today as a group, okay? All right, so we are going to come over here. Let's go ahead and take a survey. Will someone raise your hand and tell me what a survey is? Yes, Anthony.
A survey is when you get people's data.
That's exactly right. Okay, so we're going to gather some data right now, okay? So raise your hand if you think that you like bananas the best. Now, let's be clear because these are our choices. Apples, bananas, grapes, strawberries, pears, and watermelon. And you can only choose one. And even though these may not be your favorite fruits, maybe one of these isn't your favorite fruit. Maybe you like, let's see, what's a fruit that's not up here?
Mango.
Mangoes. Maybe mangoes is our favorite, but mangoes isn't up here. Let's choose our favorite that's on the list, okay? And if you don't like these fruits, then just choose one. Okay, so bananas. Raise your hand if you love bananas. Okay, 3 friends love bananas the most, okay? Raise your hand if you like apples the best. Okay, 1 friend loves apples the most. Okay, what about grapes? 2, okay. And pears? Okay, 5. Wow, we have lots of friends who love pears. That's good. Okay, and watermelon. Oh my goodness, that might be a tie. Nope, we have 6 watermelon. And, okay, strawberries. 3. Okay, so this is our data. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to graph our data. And so remember how when we were up over here, we saw 2 different types of graphs. We saw a vertical and a horizontal. Okay, so we're going to graph both of these 2 different ways, all the same information, 2 different ways, and we're going to determine if it's horizontal or vertical, just like in our book today. Okay, so what should we title our graph? Let's think. We are surveying our favorite fruits, our class's favorite fruits. So what should we title our graphs? Yes.
Our favorite fruit.
Perfect, that's exactly right. Let's title both of our graphs that because we're graphing the same thing twice. Our favorite fruits. Okay, so now we need to look at, let's do this one first, okay? So we're gonna be looking at this one first. So over here we have our fruits. So what can we label this side?
Fruits.
Perfect, yeah, fruits, that's perfect. Let's label it the fruit side. Okay, and down here we have the number of friends that love that fruit. So what could we label this side?
Number of friends who love the fruit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Number of friends who love, we're going to shorten it, that fruit. Okay, so let's start with bananas. So if you see, we have our fruits over here and the numbers over here. So bananas, we have 3 friends that just love bananas. So we are going to color in how many?
3.
3, that's exactly right. Okay, and then we have apples. We only have 1 friend that loves apples, but that's okay. So we're only going to color in 1. Okay, and then grapes is next. So let's see. We have 2 friends that love grapes, so we're going to color in how many?
2.
2, that's exactly right. Okay, and then we have pears. Oh my goodness. We have so many friends that just love their pears. So we have 5 friends. So we're going to color in 5. Let's count. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow, that is so good. Very good, friends. Okay, and then we have watermelon. How many friends love watermelon? Ready?
6.
Let's count. Yeah, 6. Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Very good. Okay, and last but most definitely not least, okay, we have our friends that love strawberries. So how many do we have?
3.
3. Okay, ready? Let's count.
1, 2, 3.
Very good. Okay, so just by quickly looking at our graph, let's turn and talk to our friends. How many people like, or actually let's do this. Let's see, turn and talk to your friends. Which one is liked the most? Which fruit is liked the most? Yeah, okay, watermelon. Okay, so we know that watermelon is definitely our favorite. But let's come to this graph over here, and let's do the same exact data in this type of graph, okay? So we already did this one, we're gonna move to this one. So over here is our numbers now. So what are we gonna title our numbers side?
Number of friends who love that fruit.
That's exactly right, Josie. Thank you so much. Number of friends who love that fruit. And then down here where our fruits is, we're gonna title it what?
Fruits.
Fruits, that's exactly right. So it's the same data and the same type of graph, but it's a different version of it, okay? So we are going to do the same data now. Okay, so let's see, bananas is first. So how many friends love bananas?
1, 2, 3.
3, that's exactly right. So we're not gonna color this way now. We're gonna color
Up.
up, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, very good. Okay, so, and then apples, how many friends love apples?
1.
1 friend. So we're gonna color up again. Okay. How many friends love grapes? Like grapes is their all-time favorite and they chose grapes for our survey.
2.
2, very good. 2 friends, so we're gonna keep coloring up. This chart's a little different. Okay, and then pears, we know that this one was a lot. We had 5 friends that loved pears. So we're gonna color in 5 squares up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then watermelon was, I think, our class's favorite. So we're gonna color up 6. Okay, and then last but not least, again, we have our strawberries, and only 3 friends like strawberries, but that's okay. Okay, so now that we've seen both of our charts, turn and talk to your neighbor and tell them what you see differently and what you see similarly about these 2 graphs. What is one thing that is the same between these 2 graphs and one thing that is different? Okay, 30 seconds, turn and talk. Okay, I love what I'm hearing. Okay, yeah, so I had one friend say that this one goes like this and this one goes like this, so that's a difference, right? But then our same would be that our numbers are the same. We're still graphing this same data. The same data is the same on both, okay? Even though they look different, one goes like this and one goes like this, it's the same data. No matter which one you look at, you're gonna get the same information. So let's do a quick data analysis together. Okay, so how many votes did we have in all? Let's go ahead and count. Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
So 20 votes in all, okay? How many people like pears the best?
1, 2, 3, 5.
5, very good. And we know this because we can look at our pairs.
There's 5 squares.
That's exactly right. We have 5 pairs, and even over here we have 5, right? So we know, and we can double check. Pears is right here. So 5 of our friends love pears the best. Okay, so how many people like grapes the best? Let's do the same thing. Ready?
1, 2.
Very good. 2 friends love grapes the best. And we can double check again. Grapes has 2 friends on our survey. So how many more people, and we need to really focus on this word more. We need to kind of read between the lines here. How many more people like pears than bananas? So we're going to look at our pears column, and then we're going to look at our bananas. So we have 3 bananas, and we have 5 pears. Okay? So how could we figure out, let's turn and talk with our partner. How could we figure out how many more people like pears than bananas? Turn and talk. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna have Josie share. So Josie, I really loved what I heard when I had you turn and talk to your neighbor. So we had 5 friends that love pears and 3 friends that love bananas. So how could we find the difference? How could we find how many more people like pears than bananas?
Well, I saw that there was both 3, they both at least had 3, so I kind of put those on top of each other, but then the pears, there was 2 left over. And the banana didn't have those 2.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Josie. Thank you so much for sharing. So if you look, you have this, okay? We can kind of block this out. And if you really need to make a visual, then you can just do this. These are our 2 leftover. So our answer is 2 more. That is great thinking. Okay, so this one's tricky. It's the opposite. How many fewer, again, we're gonna read between those lines. How many fewer people like watermelon than grapes? So we have watermelon here and grapes here. I think that question's actually backwards. So how many fewer people like grapes than watermelon? Okay? I think, is that backwards, friends? I can't, I'm having a little bit of a brain fart here. Okay, so what is the difference here then? So we have 2 grapes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 watermelon. So just like our friend Josie did in the last one, she found the difference. Let's do this together. Turn and talk with your partner, or turn and talk to your neighbor about how you think we could find how many more watermelon there are than grapes, or how many fewer grapes there are than watermelon. Okay, turn and talk. Okay, yes. Danielle, what do you think? How many less grapes are there than watermelon, and how or why did you figure that out? How did you figure that out?
So there are there's 4 more watermelon than there are grapes, because there's grapes has 2 and watermelon also has 2, but watermelon has 4 more than 2.
Exactly. So this is a really confusing question, and sometimes questions do this, especially on our test. So today and every day, make sure you are focusing on those words, because more and fewer, that's a big difference, and those test questions can really try to trick your brain. So make sure you're really focusing in. So how many fewer people like watermelon than grapes? It helps if Miss H can correctly write the question. Okay, so 4 is our answer, because there are 4 more watermelon than grapes. That is great. Okay, so let's see. Let's do a quick recap. One thing that we learned today. Turn and talk to your neighbor. One thing that we learned today. 30 seconds here, friends. Okay. Very good. I was hearing so much that we learned. Okay, let's have one friend share. Marissa, what did you learn today?
I learned that graphs could go up and down and side to side.
That's exactly right. Graphs can look differently, but they can have the same exact data. Those 2 graphs have the same exact data, the same exact survey, and our friend's favorite fruits. But it's different. They look differently. Okay, so I'm going to send you back to work on this independently. You're going to be working on this worksheet by yourselves at your desk quietly at a level 1, which means a whisper. Okay, so if you need to talk to your neighbor about something on this worksheet, that's fine, but make sure it's at a level 1 whisper. Okay, so you guys can go ahead and do this. I'll be walking around to see if you need any help.